Yeah, not the most aesthetically pleasing basketball game. Thought, obviously them being a top 40 defensive team and being able to shoot 51% from the field, it was just our inefficiency and the turnovers. So disappointed about that. But you're not going to win games in conference on skill. You're going to win it on intangibles. And I thought we had intangibles. I thought we had fight. And I thought from the jump that was the case. And I just thought the guys really, really responded from the last time that we played at home on Wednesday night.
Will mentioned that physicality was better this time around. Would you agree with that assessment? How important was that in deciding today's game?
To go back and watch the tape, I just thought we gave up some early offensive rebounds that you just can't give up, and so I would have to go back. I thought Will did good. We didn't shrink the floor like we needed to in order to help him, but he didn't let people play through him, and there were some times again. Arnett's a tough cover, and I thought he handled that well and defended without fouling there.
Coach, Dylan Batiste obviously had a great game tonight on the board. Just kind of take me through, what you were seeing from him and why he was so successful tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's young, and so you just kind of go through it. I thought that, he's assertive. And there was a moment there where we get a switch on KG. 8, their center is defending him. He's got 23 defending him, and just kind of goes in and takes a shot, and it was assertive. Ends up getting his own offensive rebound, leads to some free throw opportunities, and that's him. I thought his reads the first 4 minutes of the game, I just thought his eyes were too big, and he's trying to figure out what's going on and didn't really understand some things. And so it was good to watch him settle in, do a good job. All those players think they can play 30 minutes and then he cramps. And so it's just one of those things. You're really proud of DB because, I've mentioned this before. I thought he made an impact at the UAB game, but every player, when they come in, they want to play. And you need to understand that sometimes that's not going to be the case, but your job is to respond the right way, and he's responded the right way. Obviously we were no Jarrett Valencia, no TJ Williams, and he did a good job filling in today.
With that, what stood out to him about Dylan tonight today? His aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Some moments that stood out to you.
Yeah, I agree. He's assertive, he was aggressive, and it's one of those situations where that's who he is. Like, he doesn't settle for a corner three. And same thing happened at UAB in the second half in front of our bench. And he's gotta know, like, I need to stay assertive. There's other things he can do. I just still think he's such a puppy that he just got so much to learn and so far to go. But again, after the first 4 or 5 minutes, I thought he settled down and was able to make plays.
Obviously, the concussion protocol, exactly the timeline of that.
I'm pretty confident he'll be back Thursday, but we'll see.
Also noticed that this team only was having 4 threes today. Was that by design or just kind of a flow of the game?
No, I mean, that was them. That's what they wanted to take away, and I think that's why we shot 51%. Like, you're able to get the first one was obviously that we were able to make. You know, Will throw it in, goes weak side 45 to Mike, and he's able to cash it in. And we weren't shying away from going into the post, but we needed to keep the floor spread and handle pressure. Just didn't do that late. But really just proud of, you're up, what, 15, 17, and they get it back down to 8. And just you could watch our guys know how to handle that situation on account of, what happened at Charlotte a week ago.
What do you think of KG? Is just the work he did in the mid range. The first half looked like he was, like you said, it's a really good defense, and to carve them up like that, just how impressive is that just from the tape that you've seen? And I don't think anybody's really gone for 20 plus against them. So to go for 33, just kind of put that into context for fans, how impressive that was today.
Yeah, I would tell you that, they wanted to see one-on-one play. They were hugged up in other areas, and so that's what they kind of try to get you to do is play ISO ball. And the numbers analytics will tell you that's never a good way to play. It really depends on your player. And so we kind of did a good job of spreading the court. I think I looked slowly at the analytics report. I think we retrieve north of 40% of our old boards. But what happens when a player is able to go to his middle game is you're going to get shots that fall off around the rim, and your old board percentage is usually going to go up. Unlike if guys turn around and settle for threes, those long shots equal long rebounds. So you have to have players who have a middle game, simply because off of a switch, it's a huge advantage. And then at the same time, from an old board rate, gives you an advantage. So it's one of those things that we kind of encourage. I'm not a three and rim guy, even though if you go look, our three and rim numbers are pretty good, just how they stack up in the country. But KG is the one who can allow us to get old boards. But today he was making them.
Did you just feel like, with a weapon like that, I mean, you guys can, obviously if you play well, you can play with anybody in the conference, but just like the weapon that he is, from what you've seen so far, is he just one of the better ones in the conference, you feel like?
Yeah, he's a good player. Again, I think the thing that happens is you have ebbs and flows during the course of the year. There's going to be 5 teams this year who don't have ebbs and flows, and they're just really good. And what you have to make sure you don't do as a player is overreact. And you need to understand that life doesn't always go your way. Every game doesn't go your way. Be mindful of the people that are trying to bury you. Be mindful of the people that are out there causing distractions, and you stay focused on your work. KG does that.
He faced this kind of defensive attention and pressure at Greensboro, and has he made some adjustments here, similar?
I couldn't tell you that. I didn't. That's not a deep dive for me. I watched him play, and he's good with the ball. He's good without it. There's some opportunities of being able to, make sure that when he has the ball, being able to create space. Thought we did a little bit of that. I thought their pressure was just so extensive. Our spacing wasn't great. We just bobbled too many balls, but he can handle pressure. I thought he did a good job coming off some pin downs, which led to Will getting some buckets, and it also allowed him to get to the paint. But at the end of the day, we were trying to get to the paint. Thought maybe we could spray it out a little bit more than we did, but it really just created shots for KG, and it allowed some of the offensive rebounds that we were able to get.
What's something that maybe doesn't show up in the box score that you were happy with or proud of? Anything that comes to mind there that you thought that you guys did a good job?
I thought our pick and roll coverage was really good. I thought we did a solid job. We rate, did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? And we were in the 70s. So if you can get pick and roll coverage right in the 70s, it's usually, say, if you're 60-40, it's going to be a game. And when you're north of 70, you're usually in a pretty good position.
That's probably a pretty big improvement over the last 2 games then?
Pick and roll coverage, really, it's not a huge metric. It's kind of did you get the right coverage from a game plan perspective? So they can execute it. Sometimes it's just it's what that was a wrong decision to go under a guy, and he turns around and makes it.
But for 36 minutes today, did you feel like you guys were in control for most of this one?
Yeah, I don't think a coach ever feels like he's in control until that thing goes off. I've seen plenty of games where you can be up 20 and it doesn't go your way. And so again, that's a game of basketball. That's going to happen. And so you're just really mindful of it. I think it was San Diego State last week. They were down by 24 to Boise State, and then Boise State turns around and that doesn't come out. We've been on that side of it, right? In back-to-back games, we're down 16, win. We're up 17 and lose in double overtime. So I think that stuff happens. I don't think every play is kind of its own living organism, and I just think you're kind of living play to play to play. So we can be up 11, but we're turning it over down there on that end, with 45 seconds to go, and you're pretty upset.